Hello everyone, it's Carrie from Inky Bee Journals and Ephemera. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, hello and welcome to you. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back and choosing to spend a portion of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. Now, today we are going to work on part 4 of this Purple Roses journal. If you have not seen part 1, 2 and 3 and you would like to, please head on over to the playlist section of the channel and you will find a playlist under the name Junk Journal Tutorials, and you will find parts 1 and 3 in that playlist. Today we are doing part 4 and we are continuing on with adding ephemera to our pages. Now in the last video we added in the envelopes and the pockets that came with the kit. Now this kit is a kit designed by My Porch Prints, and I will put a link to this kit and other information for My Porch Prints in the description box below if you would like to go and check them out. So in the last video it was very late, it was after midnight and I was very tired. I'd had a very long busy day and a very long busy week, and I'm going to have weeks like that from time to time. I made the mistake of trying to use my crocodile hole puncher and eyelet setter at that late hour, and my brain was just fried at that point and I just couldn't get it to work. So it's not the tool itself that was the problem, it was the user that was the problem, it was me. So we are going to attempt this again tonight. It's not after midnight this time, but I will use this tonight to finish off doing the remainder of these tags. So I've done these ones and I'll talk about these in a moment, and I've got these 3 left here to do. And I did a few of these ahead of time so that I'm just cutting down on recording time. So we'll get a start on these first. We'll move the journal out the way for a moment. I will put a link in the description box below where you can purchase one of these tools and for the case that comes with it. There are many places online you can buy it, but I will link the place in which I bought mine. And I'm in Australia, so sometimes my links will be Australian based. So I'm just going to open that up. I know I've got it on the right setting at the moment, and I've done this one so far and I need to do these 3 as well. So I'm just going to do my last 3. So I've already punched the holes. I'm going to put my eyelet into the hole, and I've got my crocodile on the right settings in the cubes, and I'm just going to squeeze that and that's gone through fine. So these 2 are done, and we'll do these last 2. Three. And 4. Now I'll put this aside and this, And these ones are done as well. Now these are different little tags, and these ones have brads in them. I've done some with purple and some with pink, and they are not mini brads though, they are just the regular size brads, but because of the size of these tags, or should I say the shape of these tags, I've actually had to cut the ends off the bit at the back that opens up. Otherwise they would be protruding over the edge and that would be dangerous, but it's actually still quite sharp because it's been cut. So please, if you do need to do that with yours at any stage, do be careful because they will be sharp once they're cut like that. So those are done. Now if you haven't seen part 1 to 3, as I said, you can go to the playlist and find those. I've got another couple of tags just here. We're just going to go through the journal and we're going to stick down anything that is yet to be stuck down. So there will be some fussy cuts that are yet to be glued down, and there will be some corner pockets that are yet to be glued down. So this is the first one. So I'm just going to take that off, and I'm just going to use some art glitter glue because it's nice and strong for this. And I'm just going to glue down 2 sides of this. Now I've just cut this out of the paper, inked around it. I've stuck it down on a bit of cardboard, which is just a bit of packaging, and I'm not going to cover the back because you're not going to see it. And I'm just going to run some glue down 2 sides. And when I stick it down, I'm going to be at the base, in line with the bottom of the page and close to the center fold, but not right on top of the center fold, not right up against it, simply because I don't want to add any extra bulk in this area. Because when we go to close it, if there is too much bulk there, it's going to make it even harder to close, but it could potentially damage the edge of the tuck as well, tuck pocket, and we don't want to do that. So here is a fussy cut we need to glue down. So I hope everybody is well. I wanted to get this video out to you sooner, but my area's been having trouble with power outages of late, and if we haven't completely lost our power, the lights have been doing a lot of flickering, but we've had bushfires in the area in my state, and we even had a wildlife of sorts, I'm not sure exactly what it was, had actually caused a power outage early hours of this morning. So because I record on my phone, I needed to make sure I was conserving my battery in case my mother needed help, and as it so happened, she did need my help, so I ended up going over to my mother's place, which is only a few minutes away, but she needed help, so I did go over there. Unfortunately, my mother's got to a point where she's becoming a fall hazard. She's in her 70s and she has a lot of health issues that cause her to become quite unstable. Now I'm actually going to glue this down on the left-hand corner this time instead of the right-hand side. So I want to glue down this side and across the bottom. So all of these side tucks I've just backed onto a piece of card, bit of ephemera packaging or tools packaging or something like that, just to give it some more stability and strength. Here's another fussy cut to glue down in the corner. I like to leave plenty of space for writing because I do a lot of writing in journals. But I do like to have a little bit of something in the corner. So we've had quite a few hot days this year. We are still in summer. And the last couple of days have been quite hot. And then today we had quite a cool day instead. But the heat has damaged my front lawn and my back lawn. So I'm doing my best to save that and half the garden. I have a lot of concrete around my area, so that tends to intensify the heat that's getting to things in the garden and around the house. So I've been quite busy slowly sorting through my craft room and all of my supplies that I have. And getting rid of any junk that I have lying around that doesn't need to be staying here. My craft room is soon to be turned into a bedroom. Currently it is a craft room and a second bedroom, but my mother is going to be moving in with me in the next few months or so, and she's going to be using this room as her bedroom because it's the only other room in this house. And we are going through the process of going through all of the stuff in her house and all of the stuff in my house and downgrading anything that we really don't need to keep. And we've both got quite a pile of stuff to go to our local charity shop. And we'll have things that need to go to the local tip, and we've got to do a lot of packing and things will have to go into storage. So we have lots to do, but it's really to a point where my mum can't stay living on her own for much longer. It's just too unsafe for her now. I'm sticking that down on the wrong side, aren't I? Dear me. Okay, here's a little tip. If you get a bit of glue where you don't want it, get a little bit of talcum powder or flour if that's what you have, and just rub it on that glue spot where you don't want the glue to be. Something I learnt quite some time ago. And that will just stop the stickiness, and that will still be hidden, but so you won't see that mark. But I just glued this on the wrong side. I should have glued it on this side, not this side. Kicking something under my table, which I did not mean to do. Did not realise that was bent. So I hope everybody is doing well. I'm sorry if I'm being quiet. I tend to go quiet when I have nothing left to say or I'm concentrating. I feel like I'm a little bit rushed tonight, but I have so much to get done. And I've got more to do before I even think about going to bed tonight. So this journal is really quite an easy one to put together because the kit comes with an ephemera set, and all you need to do is cut the ephemera out and glue it in. And it also comes with several pages of fussy cuts, and again all you need to do is cut them out and glue them in wherever you want to put them. So we don't actually have any difficult work to do. This whole journal is a beginner friendly first journal that you can do without a lot of trouble. And even when it comes to having things like putting these eyelets in, even if you don't have the eyelet setter, it doesn't matter because you don't have to put eyelets in. You can choose just to put brads in if you like, or just punch the hole with a normal hole punch and just put a bit of lace or a bit of ribbon through if you like. So you don't have to put the eyelets in if you don't have the eyelet setter. So far this journal has just been printed kit pages that we've folded in half and done the same with the front cover, and then we've stitched them together with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And now that's the writing board, and we will get to making that. So we'll put that aside. Our writing board is just designed so that if you want to write on a page that's got a little bit of bulkiness underneath, you can put this between the bulky page and the page you want to write on, and it just gives you a smooth surface to write on. I'm sorry, I can't speak very well tonight. So a writing board is just, I'm just using a piece of cereal box and a couple of pieces from the ephemera kit as a front and back cover, and then you can choose which side you'd like to use as your front and your back. There really is no right and wrong way to do this. So I'm just going to put some glue all over this and sit it down. I will probably not use the glitter glue for this because sometimes it can leave a little bit of a ridge. So I will use some of this. Now this is double-sided tape, and I just find this the easiest way to get a smooth surface. So I'm just going to place this around the edges. And I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that at the edge. And then I'm just going to put a couple of pieces in the center. I'm going to do the same on the other side because we will need to put a decorative page on both sides. You can use a wet glue for this if you want to. Sometimes I prefer to just use double-sided tape for some things, and I have a lot of it from my card making days. Okay, so now we need to get this tape off, and I'm just going to use the tip of my blade to do this. Just helps pick it up that little bit. Now, I've actually taken a grey lead pencil and I've just put a line around the cardboard piece so that I know exactly where I'm placing it down, so that I've got the image in the right spot, or as close as I can manage. Does not have to be 100% specific. The aim is just to get the majority of the image onto the board. And I like to just take my bone folder and burnish that glue down. And then we can cut around the edges. And for this I will actually use my scissors. Those can go in the recycle. So we've got one side done. Now we need to do the same on the other side. Please always put the cap back on your blade if you have a cap that comes with your woods, to protect the blade as well as yourself. Now when you go to place this down, make sure that you have your images facing the right way up and that you're placing them so that the sticky side is on the back of the image. Otherwise you will end up with everything back to front. And as I said, these do not have to be 100% perfect. We are making something by hand, so whenever we're making things by hand, it is okay if there is little imperfections. And especially when you're learning to do things for the first time, it's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if something doesn't look exactly right. Because these things take time to learn, they take practice, and you get better as you go along. And and I think I'm going to have to clean my scissors because everything is sticking to them. Okay, so that's virtually got that done. Now, all you need to do, if you want to, you can use a corner rounder to go around the edges, or you can use, you can do little angle cuts, like a tag cut. Why would you do that? Well, you don't have to do that, but by doing that, it can sometimes, with things like this or tags and things, it can sometimes just make things go in and out that little bit easier, and it can also stop the bottom of tags getting bunched up in the bottom corners if they're a little bit tight or something in your tag, in your pocket, then you're not going to damage the bottom. So I will just grab my corner rounder. I'm sorry if the camera wobbles a little bit. It's just on a stand above me here, and every time I have to pull my chair in towards the table, it makes it wobble on the stand. So I'm actually going to turn mine over, and I'm going to use this large corner, if I can get it in there, and it is. And then I'm going to punch down. A little suggestion, if you do use glue, please let it dry, as in a wet glue. Please let it dry before you go ahead and use one of these. If it's too hard to get into the slots and you put your whatever you're going to cut, you need to put into these little slots here. And if it's too hard to get them in there, it's not going to go in at all. It's too thick. This has got just a little bit of stability by having that bit of cereal box in there between the two pages. But much thicker than this, and you're really going to struggle to get it in there. All right. It's those out the way, and those out the way. So at this point you can leave it like this. You can ink around the edges of it, which I might do. Give me a moment and I will just grab my ink. Unfortunately, I have quite a few of my things that are already packed up, ready to be relocated. My craft room will be moved from this room to basically my dining room when my mum moves in. So you could, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can do it this way, but I tend to get my dauber. This is a finger dauber. You can get different types of daubers, and I'm just going to dab that in there, and I'm going to go around the edge like this. And it just takes away the white edge. Gives a little bit of a, it doesn't give a great deal because this is not a really, despite the way it looks here, it's not a really bright colour. And this is not the best ink either. I'm waiting on getting a similar colour in a Tim Holtz Distress Oxide. It's on order, so it will be available for the next time I need a colour like this, because I do like my purple. But basically it just takes the raw cardboard edge off and just gives a very slight purple edge on the front. And I will ink it across the back as well. Hopefully my power doesn't go out, because we've had some power outages lately. I did want to get this video out sooner, but we've had problems with power outages, and I think that's possibly because we've had some fires going on in my state, and bushfires, and they can sometimes cause damage to our power lines. And our power outage from this morning, however, was not from a fire. It was apparently, according to the text message that the power company sent me, it was caused by wildlife. I'm not sure quite what the wildlife was or how it happened. I'm not sure I want to know those answers. But it did cause our power to go out briefly. Excuse me. Now, because this ink is so light, it's really not showing up on this side because of the darker colour that's on the edge of this design. But the main thing is it's inked along this edge here, which is really what I was aiming to do. So there we go, we've done that. And now we can bring our journal back in. And put our writing board back in. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit tighter than I wanted it to be, but never mind. So there it is. So we'll leave the video there for now. We'll come back with a part 5, and we will add any extra ephemera in, and we will look at putting a lace along this edge here just to hide off the stitching, and we will put a closure on. And then this journal will be about done. So the next video after that will be a flip through of this journal. A completed journal, the first journal that we have completed on this channel. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so YouTube can send you a notification when I put another video out. And until then, hope you have a lovely day. Please stay safe out there, and I will see you next time. Bye.